Hi everyone, it's Michelle here at FireFit Hub. Today we're going to be doing a collage and print workshop. I'll give a run through of the materials we need and the activities that we'll be doing in a few minutes. I'll just wait for a few more people to get on live to the video. So we'll just wait another minute or so for a few more people to join the live video, and then I'll be running through the materials and the activities that we'll be taking part in this week. So what we'll need is some paper, and it's always good to have spare because we'll be doing more than one piece today. We want some materials to make collages with, so I've got some old leaflets from FireFit Centre, and I've also got some coloured paper. You can use anything for this. Magazines are really good, leaflets or newspapers, or even just coloured paper or card. You can use things like food packaging or wrapping paper, anything really that's got some colour on it and some graphics so we can collage on the white paper. We'll also need some glue. You can use PVA glue or a glue stick, and some sellotape too, depending on what materials you'll be collaging with. I've got some string as well. You can use string or wool or any material really that will be stuck down on the paper, so it's up to you what you'll be using and what type of collage you'll be making. It really is up to you. We'll need some scissors. I've got some pastels as well to work into the collage with, and also some paint. I might be using the paint, I'll see how it goes. But you can use anything really. You don't need to work into the collages, but it does add some more depth to the work. But if you've got pencils or pens, anything like that you can use. And it will be good to think of a theme to your collage if you're just using plain paper. So I'm going to use the same theme that we used last week, which was an outdoor theme. So I'll be making the collage to look like leaves and flowers and things like that. But you can use anything you want. It can be an abstract pattern, or you can look through the magazine, and if it's people's faces, you can do a collage based on that. It is really up to you, but I'm just going to run you through how I like to make mine. First, I'll just be cutting out some shapes, just some random shapes that look like leaves. If you want to, you can draw these out first in pencil. But I quite like them to come out abstract and random, so I don't really use anything. So it's an outdoor theme. I'm just cutting out different shapes that could be leaves or trees. And any little offcuts, you can use them too. So any random things that you find, it doesn't have to be perfect. I quite like abstract art, so I like all different types of shapes. If you're going to cut out more intricate patterns, then it would be good to draw around first, but I won't do that today because I'm in a bit of a rush to get it finished. And don't think too much about it. It's good just to be random and just look at the pictures that are available in the magazine and just work with that. Even this I might use, so the things that you cut around can be used, so it's good to keep them around even if you're not sure. So you can see I've got some random leaf shapes cut out. This leaflet, for example, I don't think it really matches what I want to do. So I might just use the black parts and cut out little patterns for the leaves. But I like the word kind. So if you're looking through your magazine and you see any words that you like, use them too. So I'll cut around this word because I might use that later. And then the black sections, I'll just cut out more little shapes for the leaves. It's good to cut out a lot of different sizes and shapes. And the more you cut out, the more you have to play around with. You don't have to use it all. I'm just cutting out little tiny leaf shapes that I'm going to stick on top of my leaves. And I can always go back to that later. And as you're going along, just keep all your little pieces to one side. I'm just going to have a quick look through this leaflet and see if there are any words or pictures that stand out. I quite like this woman, she looks really happy, so I might cut her out and use that. Because she's gardening and I'll be cutting out leaves. So when you're cutting out an image from a magazine, just take your time with it. And if you're using scissors at home, just be really careful, please. So just cut out really careful. And then I'm going to cut a few more leaves out. And I quite like this green colour as well, so I'll cut some out of that. So I've got a few pieces here that I'll start with. For a nice background, I'm just going to rip some strips, so it just makes a background to start off with. So this is really abstract, you don't need to rip it, but I think it's quite a nice way just to get a bit of texture started. So I'll use this glue stick for now. It's not really working well, so we'll just pause the video and go and get a new one. So I've got a new glue stick, hopefully this one's working. I want the background to be quite flat, so I'm going to make sure that the glue completely covers it. So these shapes are just really random background, just to add a bit more depth. And I suppose they actually look like leaves, kind of like abstract. And then I'm just going to have a little mess around with arranging the parts that I've cut out. And you don't need to have everything in place before you start gluing down. Just if it feels right, like it should be there, just glue it. You can always peel it off if you're using a glue stick. So and just keep layering up. So I've already got an idea of what I want it to look like in my head. I want it to look like this woman that I've cut out is doing gardening in like a big garden or something. So I'm going to put all the leaves and stuff surrounding her. And if you notice any little mistakes like this, just cut them before you sit them down. So that's the first few layers. It's quite funny, but as you can see, I'm just being really careful and like spreading everything out. But it doesn't need to be perfect. And then just have a little mess around. Like you can trim it down. I had to cut around her hands as there was writing in front, so I'm just going to make sure I put loads of like little plants there so it hides it. So if you're doing this at home and you feel that something doesn't look quite right, then you can just cover it up with more layers like I'm doing now. And I've kind of run out of stuff at the minute, so I'm just going to go back and cut out. So you can see it kind of looks like she's in a jungle or something. So just keep working into it. I'm going to add some details on the leaves now. Now we'll just clear the desk and I'm going to start working into it with some paint and pastels. I'm going to try and stick to the colours that I've used, so like this green, blue and pinks, purple and yellow, and some black as well. But what I'm going to do now is just in the white parts, just maybe draw a few leaves and add like a few little patterns and textures in. And this can be like quite messy. So I'm just drawing like grass and it's really messy, but if you do it messy like this, it can look quite nice. Doesn't need to be perfect all the time. And I'm not really the best drawer, so I like rushing really and like sketching quickly because it looks better than if I try to spend time making things look perfect. Tried to draw flowers there, but it didn't really go well, so I'll just colour in. I'm going to use this little cotton tip to add some detail in, but you can use a paintbrush or the end of your paintbrush if you want to. And you can just go in and make some patterns, like some dots. Like it doesn't need to make sense and look real, it's abstract art, so feel free to put like little dots and patterns anywhere you want to. So there's the collage. And with some of the leftover bits, I'm going to see if I can do anything useful with these. So I'll probably use this as like a template for a leaf. It doesn't need to be perfect. Like I keep saying, it's all abstract, so and you can just keep experimenting with the leaflets or magazine, and then you can work some paint and pastels into it like this. And then you might put some things over the top. It really doesn't need to make sense. It's just about playing around with different materials and discovering new ways to make art. So, hope you've enjoyed this introduction to collage. We'll be back next week with some more art activities. If you've tried this at home, please send in some of your work to Firefit. We'd love to see if you've been engaging with us and which activities you've enjoyed, and I'd love to see some of the artwork that you've produced at home. So thanks so much for watching this, and thanks for taking part at home, and hope to see you soon. Take care, everyone.